Hey everybody, welcome back to Iphone Bloke, the tech tube where we help common people to pick up quality products. So in today's video, I have a very interesting segment going on, and I think there are very less videos on YouTube with context to which engine lasts long. Is it the petrol or the diesel engines have more of a juice, more of a punch, more of a overall refinement, expenses, what is the minimum distance you need to cover per engine as per diesel versus petrol is what I'm going to talk about in this fantastic video. So let's get started. Now, the basic question which everybody has in today's market is what should I go for? I mean, shall I go for a very well renowned, well driven, proved diesel engine in SUVs, or shall I change my mind and now, keeping in check the fuel condition, I should go for the petrol? And of course, petrol turbocharged engines are very well in demand these days, keeping the mileage, keeping a light engine, keeping the overall refinement in terms of torque and bhp. But hang on a second, before you talk about all those things, how about engine specification? How about a history of how many kilometers your engine can actually last long, whether it's a petrol versus diesel? So let's talk about it. So I've got three interesting segments going on, and I've been doing a lot of research these days, as you know, and I've been producing a lot of videos about bhp, torque, petrol engine, diesel engine, refinement, expenses, and whatnot. This is a very unique content, and in case if you like this content, do subscribe the video. So I want to talk about a minimum distance of kilometer what a diesel engine should run if it's taken a very good care. So a diesel SUV engine, if it's maintained really well as per BS6 norms and the way the engine has been defined and manufactured, it can nearly last up to 3.5 to 3.9 lakhs kilometer. I'm talking about diesel SUV engines. You do not need to worry about if you're maintaining your car in a very nice manner. So max to max, I would say in a very good condition, 3 lakhs is what you can easily count on. But I've also seen people driving pretty old Fiat diesel engines for almost 4 lakhs kilometer, which is fantastic. Now, with context to petrol, the game changes a bit because petrol happens to have a little less shelf life compared to diesel engines. Now, the petrol engines happen to have 2.5 to 3 lakhs kilometer on an average, I should say, if you maintain it really well. Of course, it can go beyond 3 lakhs kilometers in an SUV, but then a good maintenance, a very nice fuel injection, a tip-top condition of your vehicle, if you maintain that, I think petrol engines are going to last in a much better condition compared to diesel engines. But then if you really want my opinion in terms of, let's say, long-term player, yes, you have to prove, you have been proven again that diesel engines are much more powerful, much more long lasting, much more fuel efficient compared to petrol engines. But then what are the drawbacks? Let's say a petrol SUV is like an instant coffee. You know, you keep it at one particular place for months and a couple of months, you go on a vacation. Once you come back, you just have to switch on the ignition and your petrol engine's on. Wherein in the diesel engines, you cannot do that. I mean, if you go away from your car for almost 2 months, then you have to come back, recharge your batteries, you know, call an engineer, have the inspection done, and then you restart the engine. Because you know, the diesel engines have a behavior of so-called tantrums nature. You may end up getting a lot of tantrums with diesel engine because it's pretty costly in repair, and the weight as well of the diesel engines, according to me, are much heavier compared to petrol engines. So yeah, it's expensive to repair. If I go about repair, it is not that, you know, simply light-weighted compared to petrol engines. But then if you really take my verdict, and if I really have a choice to choose one particular option, I would really go for diesel, even though I drive SUV, which is well built with petrol, and I don't feel, let's say, lack of power. But then if you truly ask me as a true motor enthusiast about my personal perception, and if you give me a very nice, light clutch and of course light driving dynamics, I would still prefer diesel engines compared to petrol engines. So this was a little video about which engine we kind of go on and last long. And answer is diesel, but then there are its drawbacks as well. Remember, diesel engine tend to stay at least 3.5 to 39 lakhs kilometers on an average if you keep it in well condition. On the contrary, the petrol happened to be 2.5 to 3 at the max in so-called tip-top condition. Well, that's a bit about this video. If you have liked it, thumbs up. Connect with me on podcast, Instagram and Twitter. Until we meet next time, take care.